Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Elise Glover and I'm so excited to be here with you today on behalf of FreshWave Organics. Whether you're joining us from your kitchen, your office, or somewhere in between, thank you for taking time out of your day to be a part of this important conversation. This webinar is designed especially for eco-conscious consumers, wellness enthusiasts, and anyone who's ever looked at a product label and wondered, where does this really come from? If you care about what goes into your body and how it impacts the planet, then you're in the right place. Let me start by sharing a little bit about FreshWave Organics. We're a wellness-driven brand with a mission to deliver ethically sourced organic products that support holistic health and environmental sustainability. Our vision is to create a world where transparency is the norm, not the expectation, and where every sip, every ingredient, and every choice contributes to a healthier planet and a more informed consumer. At FreshWave, we're guided by 5 core values. Transparency. We believe consumers deserve to know exactly what's in their products and where it comes from. Sustainability. Every decision we make considers its impact on the environment. Integrity. We hold ourselves to the highest standards in sourcing, formulation, and communication. Wellness. Our products are designed to nourish the body and mind naturally. And community. We support local farmers, ethical suppliers, and conscious consumers who share our values. So, what makes us passionate about sustainability and being eco-conscious? It's simple. We believe that wellness doesn't stop at the individual. It extends to the world around us, from the soil that grows our ingredients to the packaging that delivers them. Every step matters. We've seen firsthand how regenerative farming can restore ecosystems, how ethical sourcing can uplift communities, and how informed choices can shift entire industries. This isn't just about selling products. It's about creating a movement toward clean living, ethical consumption, and planet-first thinking. And today, we're inviting you to be a part of that movement. Throughout this webinar, we'll take you behind the scenes of our most beloved ingredients, share the story of our founder, Jason Lee, and show you how FreshWave brings its values to life from farm to formulation. To understand why FreshWave is so passionate about organic integrity, let's begin with the story of its founder, Jason Lee. Let's take a moment to talk about the heart behind FreshWave Organics, our founder and COO, Jason Lee. Jason's journey began in Shanghai, where he grew up as the son of 2 farmers. From a young age, he learned that every seed planted carries a story of care, patience, and responsibility. Farming wasn't just a livelihood in his family, it was a legacy. That deep connection to the land shaped his understanding of food as something sacred and relational. When Jason's family moved to Los Angeles, he noticed something that stuck with him. People were disconnected from the food they ate. The sense of origin, of knowing where your food comes from, was missing. That realization planted the seed for what would eventually become FreshWave Organics. Jason's vision was to build a company where consumers could trace every bite back to its source, not just through labels, but through real stories of farmers, communities, and ecosystems. For Jason, transparency isn't just a buzzword, it's a promise to the planet and to the people who nourish it. As COO, Jason faces the challenge of balancing ethical sourcing with cost efficiency. Fair labor, sustainable farming, and regenerative practices come with real costs. But Jason leads with conviction. Every decision starts with one question: does this align with our purpose? If the answer is no, FreshWave pivots. He believes in mission-based leadership, where values guide strategy. And he's built a culture of radical transparency, not just with customers, but with the team and investors. That honesty builds trust, and trust builds loyalty. Now that you've heard the story behind FreshWave, let's explore how those values come to life in our ingredients, from farm to formulation. The organic journey, from farm to formulation. Now that you've heard the story behind FreshWave Organics, let's take a closer look at how our values come to life. through the ingredients themselves. This is where the journey truly begins, in the soil, with the farmers, and with the communities that make our products possible. We're going to walk through the life cycle of 3 of our flagship ingredients: Vital Glow Acai, Hydrate Coconut Water Extract, and Calm Brew Holy Basil. Each one is carefully sourced, ethically grown, and selected not just for its nutritional value, but for its story. Our Vital Glow Acai is sourced from the lush Amazon River basin, specifically in the state of Pará in Brazil, which produces over 90% of the world's acai berries. These berries are harvested from tall acai palm trees that grow up to 30 meters high. It's a labor-intensive process, and farmers often climb the trees by hand to collect the fruit. We work with a co-op of indigenous farmers, including the Ribeiro and Silva families, who have been cultivating acai for generations. Their methods preserve biodiversity and protect the rainforest ecosystem. Why it matters? Vital Glow Acai is rich in antioxidants, up to 30 times more than red wine. It supports skin health, immunity, and energy levels. But beyond the nutrition, it's a symbol of our commitment to sustainable sourcing and community empowerment. Next up is the Hydrate Coconut Water sourced from Nam Hom coconuts in Thailand. Our Hydrate Coconut Water extract comes from the young Nam Hom coconuts grown in Thailand using community-centered farming initiatives. These coconuts are harvested at peak maturity, usually between 6 to 9 months old, to ensure maximum hydration and nutrient density. We partner with Harmless Harvest, a fair trade certified supplier that works with smallholder farms like Samchai and Naran, who use traditional methods and regenerative practices to grow their crops. Why it matters? Hydrate is packed with electrolytes, especially potassium and calcium, making it ideal for hydration and recovery. It's freeze-dried to preserve nutrients without high heat pasteurization, keeping it clean, raw, and effective. Finally, we have our Calm Brew Holy Basil, grown in Uttar Pradesh, India. Our Calm Brew Holy Basil, also known as Tulsi, is grown on regenerative farms in Uttar Pradesh, India, where it is revered as a sacred plant in Ayurvedic tradition. We source from Organic India, a fair trade certified partner that works with small family farmers like Meena Devi and Rajesh Kumar, who have been cultivating Tulsi for over a decade. These farmers use regenerative agriculture, which means they don't just sustain the land, they improve it. Their practices enhance soil health, conserve water, and increase biodiversity. Why it matters? Holy basil is an adaptogen, meaning it helps the body manage stress. It supports respiratory health, balances cortisol levels, and promotes emotional well-being. Calm Brew is our blend of ancient wisdom and modern wellness. Okay guys, let's take a quick poll. Which ingredient resonates with you the most? The Vital Glow Acai, the Hydrate Coconut Water, or the Calm Brew Holy Basil? Let me know in the chat. Now that we've explored how FreshWave sources its ingredients, let's talk about what happens next. How we ensure that every step of our process reflects our commitment to sustainability. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword for us, it's a guiding principle. It means making choices that reduce harm, conserve resources, and support long-term ecological health. At FreshWave, we focus on 3 key areas: low-impact packaging, carbon-conscious shipping, and eco-friendly suppliers. Let's start with eco-friendly packaging materials. Low-impact packaging refers to materials that are biodegradable, recyclable, compostable, or made from post-consumer recycled content. At FreshWave, we use compostable pouches made from sugarcane bagasse and bamboo fibers, recycled cardboard boxes with FSC certification, and algae-based inks for printing, which sequester more carbon than they emit. This approach reduces landfill waste, lowers emissions, and supports a circular economy. In fact, our packaging redesign helped us cut plastic use by 60% and reduce our carbon dioxide emissions by over 3,000 kilograms annually. Next up, we have carbon conscious shipping. Shipping is one of the biggest contributors to carbon emissions in e-commerce. That's why FreshWave uses carbon neutral shipping, which means we measure emissions from transport and handling, offset those emissions by investing in reforestation and renewable energy products, partner with carriers like UPS and FedEx who offer carbon offset programs. We also prioritize sea freight over air, which produces 31 times fewer emissions, and we optimize packaging size to reduce fuel consumption during delivery. Our suppliers are more than vendors. They're partners in sustainability. We work with fair trade certified farms, regenerative agriculture cooperatives, and ethical sourcing networks that prioritize renewable energy use, fair labor practices, and waste reduction and water conservation. For example, our holy basil supplier in India uses closed-loop irrigation systems that have 20,000 liters of water per season, and our coconut supplier in Thailand trains farmers in organic composting techniques that reduce soil degradation. Why it matters? Here's what our sustainability efforts have achieved so far. 40% reduction in packaging waste, 25% less water used in production, 100% renewable energy in our main facility, and over 10,000 kilograms of carbon offset annually. These aren't just numbers. They're proof that sustainability is possible, measurable, and impactful. Okay, guys, let's do a quick poll. Which sustainability effort inspires you most? Take a moment to vote. Low impact packaging, carbon conscious shipping, or eco-friendly suppliers? Alright, now that we've seen how FreshWave walks the talk on sustainability, let's explore why transparency is so essential in today's wellness industry. Why it matters. Organic certification and transparency. Now that we've explored how FreshWave sources its ingredients, let's talk about something that's absolutely essential to our process and to your trust as a consumer: organic certification. Organic certification isn't just a label, it's a rigorous, multi-step process that verifies every aspect of how our ingredients are grown, handled, and processed. In the U.S., this process is governed by the USDA's National Organic Program, which enforces some of the strictest standards in the world. Here's how it works. Organic System Plan. Every farm and processor must submit a detailed plan outlining how they meet organic standards. This includes soil health practices, pest management, water conservation, and how they avoid synthetic chemicals and GMOs. On-site inspections. Certified inspectors visit farms and facilities to verify that the plan is being followed. These inspections are thorough and often include unannounced visits to ensure compliance. Annual updates and audits. Certification isn't a one-time thing. Farmers must renew their certification annually, submit updated plans, and undergo regular audits to maintain their status. Traceability. Every ingredient must be traceable from the soil it was grown in to the final product. This ensures every transparency and accountability at every step. Why it matters to you? Because in today's marketplace, greenwashing is real. Many brands use terms like natural or eco-friendly without any formal verification, but the USDA Organic Seal is backed by law. It's your assurance that the product meets strict environmental and health standards. Organic certification means no synthetic pesticides or fertilizers, no GMOs, no artificial additives, ethical treatment of workers and animals, and verified soil and water conservation practices. At FreshWave, we call this our farm to formulation promise. It means that every product you enjoy has gone through a journey of care, from the soil it was grown in to the farmers who harvested it, to the formulation that brings it to life. We don't just meet the minimum standards, we go beyond them. We partner with fair trade certified suppliers, use regenerative farming, and invest in carbon conscious shipping. Every choice we make is rooted in our mission to protect the planet and empower conscious consumers. Transparency isn't just value, it's strategy. Studies show that 72% of customers are more likely to buy products with a certification mark like the USDA Organic. It builds trust, loyalty, and confidence in the choices you make. So when you choose FreshWave, you're not just choosing a product, you're choosing a process that respects the earth, uplifts communities, and delivers wellness with integrity. All right, let's wrap up with a quick recap and let's share some resources you can explore after today's session. As we wrap up today's presentation, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've covered. We explored the story behind FreshWave Organics, starting with our founder Jason Lee's vision for transparency and ethical sourcing. We walked through the journey of flagship ingredients, and we saw how each one is carefully sourced, sustainably grown, and thoughtfully formulated. We also looked at how FreshWave puts sustainability into action, from regenerative farming to low-impact packaging and carbon-conscious shipping. And finally, we talked about why transparency matters, not just for building trust, but for empowering consumers to make informed, value-driven choices. If today's webinar resonated with you, we invite you to take the next step. You can see the links and the downloads in the chat and also here on this slide. Thank you again for being here. Your interest in sustainability and conscious consumption is what drives us forward. Now, let's open up the floor for your questions and drop them in the chat, and I'll answer as many as I can.